Hi guys, press start here, and if you haven't checked out my last video, I helped Zach out with a question. He was just on the Twitter forums, I found him, I answered his question, and I talked to you guys about what you should keep in mind about when picking a system. It's only a 7-minute long video, or 8 minutes long, timing's a bit fuzzy, but I think it's worth a watch. But at the end of that video I said we're going to do an episode, just a random video about how to make a successful Roll20 forum post. I know I've done it, I think, about 30, 34 forum posts now, maybe more. Not all of them have been successful, but the ones that have got me into some good games with some really good people. It's been a lot of fun, so I'm going to show you how to make a pretty good forum post. So, first step is you log on to Roll20 site. You will have free here. The only reason I've got Pro is because I pay for it and I get a few little extra bits here and there. I use that site this much. It's daft not to. Right. So, if we go on Find a Group, when my page loads, so you come up to this page here. And all you want to do is fill out your things accordingly. So, when am I available? I'm available on a Sunday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, and on a Friday. What's the time I'm available at? When putting this in, you've got to remember it puts 3 hours after the time you put and 3 hours on the other side. So if I put 8 o'clock, it's going to bring up games that are for 5 o'clock. If I put 8 o'clock again, it's going to bring up games for like 11 or 12 at night, kind of thing. So I'll just put 7 o'clock. So 7 p.m. That's a reasonable time. You can go into game type, like role play games. On Roll20 you can do board games and card games. So if you just press that, it narrows down the search a bit. And these are like how you can talk. Some people like to see who they're talking to. Others don't. I don't use videos because no one wants to see this face at 11 o'clock at night. It's not a pretty sight. So, and language. So if you speak other languages and you're finding it hard to find a game that speaks your language, just click on here and you click on your language. I am definitely English. And how many times has it been played? Like, how many times do you want to play? Do you want to play it weekly or once? Once, normally they put on the title it's a one shot. So the campaign I'm taking part in for Roll20 Con, that's a one shot. So it'll only be for one Friday for 4 hours on that specific day, and it won't happen again. So don't get too attached to characters. Normally you find with one shots, characters are prepared for you. Like, you choose out of A, B, and C, and you just get what you're given. Weekly, yeah, as I said, like every week you're doing 4 hours of the same campaign. I do it weekly, so I always have one on a Monday, I always have one on a Thursday, and I always have one on a Saturday. Weekly, exactly the same times, 4 hours, which is pretty fun. It doesn't quite kill my addiction, but I am trying to cut down my roleplay time. But I mean, this addiction is just horrible, guys. Or you could play every other week if you're not addicted to RPG like me. You every other week, or even some people do monthlies, which I guess if you have a tight schedule, monthlies kind of your go-to there. Oh, I forgot to mention, to get onto them time things, you're just gonna have to click the hide advanced search options, so it just narrows down the search. So, if you're brand new and haven't played any RPGs, you click on this button here, new players welcome. Or if you're looking for a more of a mature game with some rude stuff in it, guys, you click on this button here. Which I am not going to do because I don't care if it's mature or not mature. I could be fighting fairies for all I can, or big fluffy teddy bears. Who cares? This is only going to be on till June 3rd, because it's for Roll20Con, so it's not going to be there long. So depending when you find this video, depends whether you see this or not. So this is where you pick your systems. Normally, if you have a good idea what systems you want to do before you click on it, is always a good one. So we're going to go with GURPS because GURPS is pretty good. There it is, GURPS. Burning Wheel is just there. So, sort by relevance. So you can have the ones that are starting in like a week or 3 days right at the top, and the ones that are going to be like a couple months away down at the bottom. So we just press find games. Let's hope there's a game on that day. It doesn't look like there's any games on that day of Burning Wheel, and that's what you'll find. You will find that like not all the time there'll be the game you want available. So let's search again. I think it's undone all my stuff. It has. So I will quickly do this. English Friday. There we go. But if you can't decide on what you want, you can always just leave that blank and just press find. And it should bring up some RPGs on that day, round about that time. So if we're just going to look through, you see that there's quite a few. There's normally, if we go right down to the bottom, depending on what days you choose, and depending on what time, depends on how many games there are. But looks like there's two pages worth. I can't make an official forum post with you guys because some games I might just not want to go into, you know. But we're just gonna pick on one randomly and type up a fake thing for it. So we'll just click on this one here. Right. So playing. That's your system now. We're playing D&D 5e. This is the day. So we're playing on Tuesday at 6 PM. 5 days by now. 5 days from now. It automatically changes the time to your time zone. So if someone in America sets it up to their 1 o'clock, it automatically turns to 6 o'clock if you're in the UK. So that's pretty cool, pretty nifty. I really like it. The total number of players, that's 4. So there's 4 open spaces. And the game type, which is a role-playing game, as we put in the thing. So that's how this being brought up. Frequency played, so this is a weekly played one. They only want voice. They speak English primarily, so it's going to be pretty understandable for us guys. They welcome new players, so always look out for that, because I know some people don't want new players, and then some people do. It's totally up to you what you choose. Mature content is a no, so there won't be anything graphic, really. Normally you'll find big spools like this, telling you about the campaign, a little bit of lore, how many players, and so on and so forth. I'm going to try to make this video as short as we can, because me reading takes a while, so I don't think you really want to see me read. But if you want, pause the video, read that there. I think I will zoom in for you. Maybe a bit too much. There we go. So you can just have a read, pause the video. So we're going to move down the page. So some GMs, or someone who made the post, sometimes just wants you to post a new topic with, I would like to join, curious about joining, and stuff like that. But he's put, applicants please read here. So for this one, we are going to have to read that there. this here, all this bit down here, and stuff like that. So we'll take a post that someone else has already done. So they've been asked to type in their name, which I believe it's their actual one. I think this is going to be their character name. So that's their character name. That's going to be their rage. So this is kind of roughly where you feel out the other players. So nothing's set in stone at this point. So if you want to make a monk today, when you're making the forum post, but then when it actually comes around to making a character, you want to make a paladin. No one's going to complain as long as they say, hey guys, I want to make a paladin instead. Because you could always have 2 paladins, you could always have 2 tanks, and no one's going to cry over having 2 tanks and 1 DPS. It's totally fine. Nothing's set in stone when you make your applicants. What you want yours to do is you want yours to stand out. So I recommend reading everyone else's, seeing what they've put, and then just do your own. But if you make it too long, the person who made the forum post is probably not going to read it. They're probably just like, oh, screw this, I really don't have the time to read all that. Or if they do, they'll forget some stuff you mentioned earlier. So try and keep it short and sweet, and just try and grab their attention, you know. If you put some of your roleplay experience in, that's also a good one. So just make sure you put some of your roleplay experience if you have none. Don't be afraid if you have none, but it's always good to say, you know, I have none, but I'm willing to learn, or I have none, but I'm so excited about learning. I really want to do this. Can I please join your campaign? You you don't want to sound too needy, but you don't want to sound too aloof. You don't want to sound like too proud, too obnoxious, or as a GM's not going to pick you. So you just have to stand out in your own individual way. So I recommend reading everyone else's, seeing what they've done, and then out of what they've done, try and make better, you know? Because you'll have some people here with the average paladin, the average, you know, rogue, the average assassin. That's what you don't... I know some people say there is no such thing as originality, everything's been done, yes. But you can make your character stand out from the bog standard, I'm a paladin, I follow this religion, here's my spell, here's my sword, block with a shield, you know? You want to give your character some kind of depth to it, and while you're doing that, you show them that you can make characters with depth. I know some GMs love depth, some GMs don't love depth. It's just how the GM plays. And you can normally get that by the massive post they put up here. They normally say what they're looking for roughly, and what they kind of expect, what the campaign's going to be about a bit. But I think that's going to be it for today, guys. I'm not sure if I'm going to write a post or not for this, but you know what? I'm going to try, and if I get anything, I will record it, show you what I put to the GM, show you what he replied with, if I do get it, and then we'll be smashing, guys. So, right, see you in the next episode. Bye!